2022, the year we entered the multiverse of madness, the atoming was happening, and it was Morbin time. My name is Tom, and this is my ranking of the 2022 comic book movies. If you guys haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell and leave your ranking of the comic book movies from 2022 in the comment section below. Couple of disclaimers. First of all, the first one should be very obvious to everybody. This is my personal list. It's not meant to offend anybody. This is based on my personal preference for the 6 live-action comic book movies I have seen this year. And the second disclaimer is that this is only the live-action films from Marvel and DC. Obviously, Super Pets was not a live-action film, but also because, well, I didn't see it. So number 6 on this list is The Batman. Calm down. Listen, The Batman is a movie that I was wildly excited about. You know, Matt Reeves is a fantastic director. Robert Pattinson's a great actor, and I liked him as Batman, and I love Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I just overall didn't find the movie overall to be that interesting. I didn't find it that entertaining. I was bored by this film, and it really does pain me to say that, because this is a movie that I really wanted to like. You know, you see a movie sometimes, you're like, I don't necessarily have anything horrible to say about it, but it just is a movie that didn't work for me, and on the basic, most simplest of levels, this was a movie that just didn't hit me in the right way. So The Batman is obviously bottom of the list. And if you want some of my deeper thoughts on The Batman, I did do a review of it, as I've reviewed all of these movies. So make sure you go and check those out. I'll leave links for those in the description down below. That brings us to number 5. Number 5 on this list is also The Batman. I mean Morbius. Now listen, Morbius is a movie that gets a lot of hate. It's got a bit of a cult following. We all make jokes about it. You know, it's Morbin time. It's been memed 1,000 times. This wasn't look, I can't sit here and say that I love Morbius. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a fantastic movie. All I'm saying is that when I watched Morbius, I had a good time. You know, I didn't love it, and I don't think it's a good movie. But I can't sit here and tell you that I hated myself watching this movie and I thought it was a terrible train wreck of a movie. I didn't think that at all. I had a good time watching Morbius. You know, it worked for me on some level. And I can see all the flaws in Morbius. I totally can. I get why people hate this movie and think it's a bad movie. And I think it's not a great movie, but I had a good time with it. Morbius is number 5. Okay, 4th on the list is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now, this isn't a movie that I completely hated. You know, I don't overly dislike this movie. I thought the movie was okay. I liked it. I just think this movie's a bit of a bloody mess as far as editing goes and pacing goes. And there are things I like about the movie for sure. I love the Namor character. I love Okoye and the Queen, and Shuri as Black Panther as well was cool. But honestly, aside from that, the movie's a mess, and it was just far too long. It really was. This movie did not need to be this long, and you could feel the runtime. And so overall, Wakanda Forever is not a movie that I super loved, and maybe I should have expected that, because I wasn't massively huge on the first Black Panther movie either. I like them fine enough, but I don't think they're amazing like other people do, and that's totally cool. If you love Wakanda Forever, that is great. I don't want to take away from you and your love of these movies. Just Wakanda Forever personally is not a movie that I overly loved. Didn't hate it, but I don't super love it either. Okay, 3rd on the list is Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, this is a movie that I know I'm going to get a lot of strife for, because everyone thinks this movie's mid, and everyone thinks, you know, this movie was too silly, and Taiga's ruined Thor, and he's ruined the MCU, and Taika Waititi should never touch any movie ever again. Now, did this movie get a little too silly and push it a little too far? I agree with that, actually. I thought, you know, like he did in Thor Ragnarok, he struck a perfect balance between serious and funny, and Thor: Love and Thunder just took it too far into the silly and into the goofy. But I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't have a hell of a good time watching Thor: Love and Thunder. The humor worked for me. I found this movie really funny. I love Russell Crowe as Zeus. I love Natalie Portman coming back as Jane Foster as Mighty Thor. I loved Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, although we didn't see enough of him actually doing some God butchering. Korg gets a bigger role in this movie, and he's one of my favorite MCU characters. I had a really fun time with Thor Love and Thunder, and I've gone back and I've watched it multiple times since, and I stand by it. I really like Thor Love and Thunder. That leads me to my number 2 favorite comic book movie of the year, and that, of course, is Black Adam. Now listen, Black Adam is not going to win any Oscars. It doesn't transcend the comic book genre in any way. It's not overly intelligent. It's not an overly complex film. There are dumb things in the movie. There's some enormous things that don't make sense plot-wise. But I'd be lying to you, again, if I told you that I didn't have a bloody fantastic time watching Black Adam. I love seeing The Rock as this character. I love the introduction of the Justice Society. Pierce Brosnan kicks ass in this movie. I love him. I love Hawkman. Aldous Hodge's Hawkman. Oh my god, I want to see spin-offs of that guy. Give me more of that character any day of the week. I had a great time watching Black Adam. It's just balls to the wall action, The Rock kicking ass, and then of course Henry Cavill coming back as Superman in the post-credits scene. I for one can't wait for the showdown between Black Adam and Superman. Bring it on. That only leaves one comic book movie left for 2022, and that of course is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I myself am a big fan of Sam Raimi, particularly Sam Raimi working within the comic book genre. His Spider-Man trilogy of movies is what got me into the comic book movies, and I was really excited when they announced he was going to direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I freaking loved this movie. This movie was so much fun. Doctor Strange and Wanda. The Wanda stuff in this movie is incredible. Wanda's journey to me throughout the MCU is the best written story for a character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Her journey from, starting out as a villainous character, being, working for Hydra and then turning into a hero and then losing everything she loves, from her brother to Vision to her kids, turning into a villain again and getting corrupted by the Darkhold. And then by the end of the movie, self-sacrificing and realizing that she has become a monster. The story of Wanda throughout the MCU is so good, and it's the best they've ever done with a character in the MCU, in my personal opinion. And that scene of her taking out the Illuminati was just orgasmic. It was such a cool scene. I love Wanda kicking ass. I love the conflict. I love Doctor Strange in this movie, him looking after America Chavez. Wong being the Sorcerer Supreme is something that amuses the crap out of me. And of course, you have John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. You've got Peggy Carter as Captain Carter, Hayley Atwell as Captain Carter. Who doesn't love that? Patrick Stewart came back. All round, this movie was such a fun, entertaining romp of a comic book movie, a true Sam Raimi film, and I was really happy about that. Anyway, guys, that is my list, my ranking of the 2022 comic book movies. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your ranking, and keep the comments respectful. We're all here to give our opinions on movies, not here to argue about anything. So let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And if you haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notifications bell, and I will see you guys next time. Gotta do the point. See, you gotta just point it. Keep pointing. Point. Pivot.